I really like that she fits into several different archetypes, and for some archetypes, she can really fill that power void it needs. We'll get to how in just a bit, but first, who is Sage? Sage is a survivor of a war-torn village in the Balkans. Her mutant abilities manifested during one of the many attacks she experienced, though she didn't quite realize it. Her mutant abilities give her brain computer-like functionality, perfect memory, and rapid analytical abilities. Now, one day she was compelled by a presence to enter a cave in the Hindu Kush mountain range, where she met an injured Charles Xavier, who ultimately recruited her and brought her to the USA. Around the time he was putting together the first iteration of the X-Men. But instead of taking a frontline approach with Sage though, Professor X had Sage work in secret, almost like his personal spy. Her mission was to infiltrate the Hellfire Club, and under the name Tessa, she became Sebastian Shaw's trusted secretary and counselor, all while feeding intel to Professor X. While working for Shaw, Tessa made an enemy of the mutant predator Elias Bogan, who captured her and branded her face. Shaw could have saved her, but he was all like, "Nah, you're on your own, girl." Tessa was eventually saved by Storm and has since aided the X-Men with analysis and intel, though she resented Professor X for turning her into a spy. Sage has since left the X-Men, staged a coup to seize influence over the Hellfire Club, and was in groups like Excalibur, Exiles, and X-Force. In Marvel Snap, Sage is a 3-energy, 0-power card with the ability, on reveal, +2 power for each different power among all other cards here. By the way, that also means cards on the opponent's side of that same lane. So her potential ceiling, 14 power. That's 4 cards on the opponent's side and 3 on yours, but they all have to be a different power. We're gonna rarely see that, but it is kind of juicy, isn't it? Okay, very situational, but I figure anything above 3/6 is good value, right? That's only 3 other cards. And the first combo I can think of, my favorite package, the Angela Elsa Kitty combo, right? Time it right when they're all at different power values and you have your 3/6. Even better if your opponent has cards on their side too. How about you play Jean Grey, huh? Force your opponent to play that lane so you get more cards to feed Sage. Bounce is gonna love her as well. You can bounce her back to your hand with a beast and then play her down for more buffs. She could also be another power option for flood decks with Hit Monkey. In fact, she could fill that power void that a lot of flood decks need. Grandmaster can reproc her. She's also discounted by Ravonna, who we see a lot in junk decks, which actually works well with Sage too. I mean, your opponent's not gonna have another -3 power goblin on their side or a -4 Widow's Kiss, right? So that's unique power that Sage can take advantage of. Now, Sage is a 3-cost, so you got Silver Surfer synergy. And of course, you can't forget about negative. If you manage to negative her and pull her out with all your other swapped cards with maybe like a Jane Foster on 5, she could get kind of crazy. Now, counters to her obviously include Shang-Chi if she goes above 10 power, and this creepy guy, Shadow King, who's gonna set her back to 0. Sage comes into the spotlight caches together with Legion and the Living Tribunal, both incredible cube stealers if you know how to play them, though Legion is Series 4 and Tribunal has been in the spotlight caches before, so you might already have him. Hey, I think Sage is gonna be a pretty good card to have, especially if you like combo decks. I don't see her as a play on curve kind of card though. Like on turn 3, the board state is not as established as you'd like, right? So she's more of a late game play when you have more cards on the board. But